Hello, this is Tom Wagner, back with another installment of stories from our fellow Vincentians. I'm here today with Vicki Buffer, Vincentian from Holy Spirit Conference down in Kent. And how long have you been a Vincentian, Vicki?
I've been a Vincentian for about 5.5 years is all, so yeah.
Okay, so
fairly new.
And you've been the president
I've been
at
the
Holy Spirit
president
as well.
for 5 years. I
5
was
years.
initiation by fire. Yes.
As often is the case. Well, again, thank you for coming and
welcome.
sharing a bit of your experience with us. So, first question I just have for you is, how would you say you've grown from the last 5.5 years of being a Vincentian?
A lot more self-confident and a lot more realizing that the people that I'm going to go see are really open to my coming and the home visits, because I was a little nervous. I was a lot nervous about making a home visit to begin with. You're intruding on these people's, and actually what it has become is that they are so pleased to have somebody actually come visit them at their home that it's great. It's a great way to break the ice and make someone feel comfortable with the conversation before you. It's not as regimental as standing in line and taking a number. So
More comfortable.
Much more comfortable for both parties.
Yeah. And you mentioned you've become more confident. Can you expand on that at all?
I think my confidence comes from trusting in God and the gifts that He gave me, because you question what you want to say or what you want to do, or am I doing the right thing?
Right.
And what I've learned to do through the spirituality end of St. Vincent de Paul is to actually totally trust in the gifts. If God is calling me to do this, He's going to give me the words and the spirit inside to know what to say and do. And when you really let it go and trust in His inspiration, it works.
Yeah.
It works. So
it's amazing how that happens.
It's amazing how it works. Yeah.
I think many Vincentians can.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, because you try to go in with the prescript or whatever, and if you just go in saying the prayer before and trusting that God has heard that prayer and is going to give you whatever you need, the words just pile out and you're able to listen as well as speak to what is being said, and I think that enables you to really give the help that's necessary. And sometimes that help isn't all just monetary help. Right. The listening is very, very important.
Yes. So. Well, you mentioned trust is something you've learned to grow in. How else have you grown in your faith from this ministry?
Meeting other people of my faith. When you're in the workforce, sometimes you don't always encounter people that think the same way you do. And sometimes it's a more of a struggle to continue to be strong in your faith, because you're influenced more by maybe people that think differently than you think. So being around more Vincentians, being around the councils when we all get together, taking any of the seminars or any of the training that you can take, it just helps reinforce the strength of my belief. And knowing that that I'm not this strange one on the block, that there are other people that believe and want to do the same things that I do, and so that strength and growth in faith comes from working with others of same beliefs. Not necessarily all Catholics, but all Christians, and also I think the strength comes more when you go out to your home visits and you see the light, a ray of hope that you have given somebody. That gives you, it doesn't give you power, I don't think that's the right word I want to use, but it shows that when you give out that love and that respect to someone else, it just lightens up their whole world, and the quote of the light of the world, that's what you're given, along with whatever monetary help you're helping with. So.
Is there any examples that you could think of with
There's
with
a
that in
lot of
mind?
examples. It's hard to narrow it down. There's one recently home visit that my partner and I went on, and it was a young lady, about 25 or so, and she was so embarrassed. She says, I've worked all my life, since I've been 16 years old, I've never been in this position before. It's really hard to ask for help. And that's a true underlying position of most of the people we see. There are the exception to the rule, but the majority are really not happy with the position they're in, and it really takes a lot of effort to ask for help. So she said, I just feel really bad. She'd lost her job, and she's the first time she'd ever been without a job, and she got in a car accident. It was like the world was just coming down on her.
Right.
And we were able to help, and she says, I really hate to ask my mom for help, and I just encouraged her. I says, we can help you with so much. Maybe if she's willing to help, that means she wants to do it. And then once you get back on your feet, you can, pay it back to her and take her out to dinner or do whatever you can for her.
Right.
Don't feel like you're taking away from her when you know eventually you'll be able to give back. And the reward from that was 2 days later or 3 days later, she gave me a call back saying that, I've gotten all the money, I need you to go ahead and make your pledge, but I just wanted you to know that you have given me that hope again, that things are going to be okay.
Yeah.
And she practically said we walked on water, which we don't, but she was just so impressed with someone taking the time to listen to her story and then to give her help and encouragement and other avenues of what she could do. So it's just great. You just get so much more than you give out.
Yeah. Well, and as you mentioned, we give out financial support, but often the biggest gift is more than that. It's the hope.
Oh, it is. It is. I mean, the monetary is definitely necessary. I mean,
Right.
In this world, it's just necessary. But what has more meaning, I think, is taking the few minutes of time that you spend, 15, 20 minutes with this person, letting them talk to somebody who's willing to listen with a compassionate heart and not a judgmental heart.
Yeah.
And you can almost see a transformation of being timid to being open and grateful that you were here. And I've gotten more hugs when I've left than anything else. So
Right.
yeah, it's great.
Great. Thank you, Vicki. Is there any thing you would tell someone who is just starting this ministry and is just, say, going on their first home visit? Any words of wisdom or advice?
Words of wisdom would be to definitely believe that God's going to provide all that you need. The fear level will always dissipate, and you're never alone. You always have your partner, but you and your partner always have God with you.
Right.
So give it a chance, give it a try, and you're going to get so much more than you ever have to give out.
Right. Thank you, Vicki, and thank you for your ministry.
You're welcome.